Our next inductee is Jaime Robles. He is to be inducted as a Delano High School Hall of Fame football coach. Jaime was an Early Mark product, a 1986 Delano High School graduate, and also a Fresno State graduate. He was also one of my roommates in college. I was lucky to grow up with Jaime. We grew up in the same grade. Since third grade, we've been on almost every single athletic team together, and I seriously consider myself very lucky to be in Jaime's teams. He was our leader, and he was just an awesome leader. Okay, as a high school football player, Jaime was the leading tackler for our 1984 Delano High School defense before injuries ended what assuredly would have been a first-team All-EYL season that year. After high school, he attended the Fresno State Bulldogs. After college, he returned to Delano High School as a freshman head coach, later a JV coach, and eventually the head varsity coach in 1995. While head coach at Delano High School, his teams made the playoffs in 1996, and in those years, only the top two teams made the playoffs in our league. So that was a big deal because Delano hadn't made the playoffs in like 13 years, and to make the playoffs, it was like we were all over the news, all over Bakersfield, California, and it was pretty awesome. He also won the league title a couple years later. We were co-league champions in 1998. He then was a head coach at Tulare Western for a few years after that, and then he became an assistant coach at colleges and college for a few years. He has been a mentor for many coaches and players throughout his years as an educator and a coach. Some of the people that have coached for him and with him has been Mario Millan, Jesse Ortega, Hilario Prieto, George Mariscal, Montel Harris, Mark Rodriguez, myself, and many, many others. Currently, Jaime is superintendent at Early Mark School District and has been married to his high school sweetheart, Olga Sanchez, for 31 years. Their children are Miranda, JC, Jasmine, and Jacob. All of them extremely successful former student athletes at El Diamante High School, and JC even played football at Colorado State. Jaime is an extremely passionate player, person, coach, and educator. Everything Jaime does, he does it full steam ahead, and he does it very well. One of the smartest and hardest working people I've ever known, a true leader. Please welcome Mr. Jaime Robles.
Yeah, well, I gotta admit, that's really weird to hear all that stuff about you, because I'm thinking, what in the world's going on here? So thank you so much. I've been gone for a long time, so it's really, really good to be back and see a lot of familiar faces. I'm going through the program and I'm seeing some names, some people I recognize by face, and other names that I just know because, you know, when you grow up an athlete, you know who came before you. So I want to thank everybody. It's so good to be here. One, my high school sweetheart is actually my junior high sweetheart. So we've been doing this thing since junior high. So baby, thank you so much. And then, you know that story Mariscal told you about the 26 and all that? I was the coach that came after that. So a little bit of love right there, guys. So look, man, this football thing, this crazy thing called football, it hooked me very early. And it just became this thing that consumes you. And I told myself I wasn't gonna do this. It just consumes you. And so, you know, man, you throw yourself into it. And so, you know, the football field is one of those few places where everything's quiet, where you actually have peace, right? And you didn't always have peace in school or in class or at home, but man, the football field, everything was just peace. And so it hooked me. And so when I blew my knee out my junior year, I spent a lot of time on the sideline. And that's when I realized I'm not gonna play football forever, but I gotta find a way to make sure football stays with me. So I became, you know, I decided to go into coaching. So when I left Delano in '86, I went to Fresno State. I had two goals, and that was to graduate from college, because I was gonna be the first in my family to graduate, and then to come back and be the head football coach of Delano High. That was it. Those were my goals. If I got a few A's along the way, if I went to a few functions, parties along the way, but those were my goals. I was gonna graduate, I was gonna give my mama that degree, and I was gonna come back and be the head football coach of Delano High. And it worked out. And I'm gonna tell you, you know, there's guys that know more football than me, you all know that. There's guys that won more games than us, you all know that. But I don't know if there was anybody that was more proud to be the head football coach of Delano High. So you know, we went in and we did it. And at some point in my life, the thing that made me even more proud than that, and there's one thing that has made me more proud than being the head football coach of Delano High, is my family. And so my junior high sweetheart, Olga, please stand for us, baby. Stay standing. Stay standing. And I got my baby Jazzy, who's in volleyball, was a league champion 3 out of her 4 years in high school. Stand up. Come on. Stay standing for me, please. The teacher in me is going to try to get some blood flowing, get some class engagement. Right? I got JC, who was a Valley champion in football in high school and a Division I college player. I got Jacob, who was a Valley champion in high school and played for a state championship in football. And if you guys will stay standing for me, let's just do something. Humor me. Humor me here. If you ever coached me in any sport ever, please stand up. Please. Please. If you ever coached against me in any sport, please stand up. Mr. Collins. If you ever played ball with me, stand up. If I ever had the honor of coaching alongside of you, stand up. If you are related, married, a child to any of these people, stand up. Stand up. Hey, it wasn't me, man. Take a good look at what's standing right there. That's the thing that kept me propelled. That's the thing that kept me standing upright. That right there. So thank you to you all. It's been a great, great run. And look what's out there. Stand up. You got the head football coach of Kennedy right there in this group of guys I rolled with. The head coach of Chavez right there. The head coach of Delano High School. And my last story is this, was when we finally turned this thing around in the 90s, we had the first winning season in 12 years. Think about when was the last time Delano had a winning season. These guys right here, they were on the team. It was our senior year. So football's been a big part of our life. Those people right there have been propping me up. And as I look at them, damn, I'm trying to figure out how come I didn't accomplish more, because that's a great group of people right there. Hey, look, man, love you all. It's been a great night. One of the proudest moments was being the head football coach at Delano High, and I just want to thank you all. So thank you guys, and have a great evening. All right.
When it came to speeches, there's nobody like Jaime Robles. Good job, Jaime. Well, thank you guys. We're done with the football portion, and now Mr. Gerard.